Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BT Talks. Happy New Year. For the first episode of 2021, I have the pleasure of having a good friend of mine who is an awesome real estate broker in France. He works with his family. They have an agency called Kretz and Partners, and they work mainly in Paris and in France. They sell some of the most beautiful properties in France, and they're just an awesome family. So we're going to have Nelson. Hold on. Salut Nelson, ça va? Ça fait plaisir de te voir. We have Sam who just joined, so hopefully Valentin will be able to join right now. So give me 1 minute. How's everyone? There we go. There we go.
Hey,
Valentin, welcome to BT Talks. So
thank you. Thank you for
Valentin,
inviting me. Yeah,
yes, you're welcome. So Valentin is a good friend, and he is actually a real estate agent based in Paris. He works with his family, and they have an agency called Kretz and Partners. They sell mainly luxury real estate in Paris, but also across France. So I'm going to start the BT Talks and let Valentin introduce himself and a little bit tell his story because it's a very unique story.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's an interesting story in the sense that it's a family business, as you said at first. It started with my both parents 12 years ago, so it's pretty recent. My mom was first a teacher, and my dad was in a phone telecom company, so really a completely other industry. And I was at that time studying in engineering. My older brother was in trading, and my little brother was in marketing. So we were completely different industry, and they started to buy a house for themselves, and it was a little bit big, so they started to divide a huge house and to sell per floor. So that's how they got into the business of real estate. And then they decided to start and to build a real estate agency, and they needed obviously some technology to create websites, software. So I started to help at this time, even though I was still studying. So that's how it started all together. At first, my older brother was giving tips, for the marketing, trading tips, etc., etc. And so, yeah, even though we were not working with them at first and still studying, we were already, it was already a family business starting there.
But yes, what is very cool is that each member of the family had some strength in some area. So, I guess your brother in marketing and your parents had different skills, you had different skills, and you all brought it together. And I think organically, you built the agency. You also had very good relationships, and you're actually the relationship guy. you, you know everybody, so you bring people. How do you? So it's not always easy to work with family. It's very
True.
unique because
Yeah,
families don't
true.
always get along, especially business-wise. How do you, on a day-to-day, operate? I guess the business. I'm sure. I mean, there's some good days and less good days, but overall,
For sure.
you've built a successful business.
Well, it's true. It's not easy every day. I mean, it's not all blue. But I mean, yeah, it started naturally, and we did not force ourselves, or no one was forced to join the company. So, and as you said, we all have our, own skills, and we are very complementary. So that's great. and we all of us each have our own clients also. Sometimes we work in team, we can work in duo or team of three or just alone, you know, so it's pretty, it changes really among according
And
to the deals. Yeah.
what I think what is very cool is when you go pitch clients to get some listings, you basically pitch the whole family. So you have the whole family, you know, you're not just going as an agent and, you know, you're saying all these different things, but you're like, this is what we can do. This is how we work. And also on another note, you're very good with technology and you started another company, which is more like marketing and video with drones. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah. So first, yeah, as you were saying, it's true that I mean real estate is about people, right? So it's
It's all
true that
people.
according to clients and people we meet, we could take different strategies on who we're gonna send to the meetings. You know, if it's I don't know someone very square and very precise, we could send my dad, for example. That's very German way, and
Yeah.
if it's I don't know someone more artist, very cool, we could send my mom or my brother or in duo, which could do the balance. I mean, it's true that it could be a strategy because not everyone can like everyone, and it's cool to be a family of 5 people and very different, so we can choose who to send and already build a strategy, to have a good relationship with clients. So
But
that's really great.
even on my end, doing real estate here in Miami, but I also I built a very strong network, but I connect the right people together, whether it's a client and another agent or a designer, because not all it's as you know, real estate is also psychology. It's not just
Yes,
real estate.
sure. It's all about psychology.
It's all about psychology and understanding people, what they like, what they don't like. Obviously, you have to be reachable all the time, and you just have to be patient and
Yeah,
understand, their needs.
sure.
So tell us about your I guess it's a separate company, but you use it for Kretz and Partners.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Our other company is called Skyness, and
Skynest.
it's actually a production company where we catch. We started with drones, so we were in the first companies of drone companies in France. That was 9 years ago already. We started to take videos of our properties for our Kretz and partners. That's how it started. And then as the drone industry started growing up, we decided to make it a side business. And with this company, we also offer, we do photogrammetry for
Okay.
geometer here in Paris and France.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting because we are with our client Geometer. We are always at the beginning of real estate project.
Got it.
Geometer are the first to be on a real estate deal because
Yeah, of
it
course.
all starts with this, and then it's a lot of interactions between two businesses. Yeah.
For sure. And for those who don't really know, tell us a little bit how is real estate and being a real estate agent and agency in France? I mean, I can tell you a little bit how people know how it's in the U.S., but in France and in different countries in Europe, it's a little different.
Yeah, I would say so. I was lucky that I worked in real estate in New York before, as you might know.
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago in New York in a boutique real estate company called Harmony City, and so I got the chance to work there and to see the difference between both
How the
markets.
U.S. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and it's true. It's actually very different. The U.S. market for I think it's more focused on the value on buyers. Here in France, we are really more focused on listings, and everything starts from listings. Um,
It's true, but in the US also, I mean, the listings are also very important. I mean, here we have a mix of buyers and sellers, but
yeah,
obviously, if you have listings and you market it the right way,
true.
it's the key to stay in this business and to grow a successful business. It takes a bit of
Yeah,
time at the beginning. Yeah. But then,
Very true. Just
yeah,
what I wanted to say by that is that, you know, in the US, you are used to share listings and to
yes,
co-broke,
yes,
and it's very open-minded, and it's great, it's fast, and in France there is still the old way of thinking, and sometimes sharing is not you know,
and that's
it's not
something
the
they
first
do.
thing we're gonna think of. So we if you are not representing a listing, sometimes you won't have access of it. So you might have the
That's
client
true.
for it. The other agency won't let you offer it to your client. So that's why you know, it's more valuable to get the listings here because you don't have access to all
Of
listings.
course. And I think, I mean, your agency really stands out because it's boutique, luxury, and also family oriented. And unfortunately, like the other agencies in France, all the big names, other big agencies are not very collaborative. They just still work in the old system. And you, I think you offer something very fresh when you go see a buyer, like this is what we do, this is how we work. And I think it, you know, people love it.
Well, thank you for the compliments. I hope so.
Yeah,
Yes, it's true. We try to, you know, to always be a step ahead, and we love how you work in the US. So we are always an eye on the US
applying it.
market, obviously, and how
Yeah.
it works there because
I,
yeah,
I know,
it's
yeah, I know you do something also very special, and I strongly believe in that. Is every year you do a special event experience at your house, which is your house and your office. So tell us about that with your VIP clients.
yeah. So we have, as you said, we always mix personal and professional lives. So we
Yeah,
work with the family, the brother, and we, you know, it switched to a deal conversation, to a holidays conversation together, to a dinner, to friends. So it's non-stop. We never see the limit of it. So it's cool, and but it's a great atmosphere, and we try to you know, to gather our clients in that atmosphere and to show them how we work and to make them feel comfortable and at home. So it's true that we do a lot of events here in the agency. The agency is actually the family house, as you can see here. I'm in the living room.
yeah,
So it's pretty cool and pretty comfortable, and so yeah, we try to do events where we mix up clients and friends, and so it's not, you know, only clients do not arrive uncomfortable thinking we're gonna have to sell something, we're gonna have to speak about work, and because they are tired of working, they just want to have fun, and so it's, you know, it's great. They come over and they have a great time. And you know, last year we had a concert. We had Vanessa Paradis singing here. Clients were expecting, you know, like just a dinner where we speak about the real estate market. They
yeah.
come over. They really don't know what to expect. They have fun.
It's a
We don't speak.
surprise. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. We barely don't speak about business, and that's the way to do it because they will call you few days after and they will give you the listing for sure. So
exactly. That's the
it's a
best way to
different
do things.
approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different approach that we like.
So now let's come to the real estate market in Paris and in France. I mean, obviously the pandemic and COVID has, you know, hit the major cities, whether it's Paris, London, New York. But overall, how is the market and how has it been the past few months? And again, you're dealing with Paris and France in general, and you represent also some houses outside of Paris.
Yeah,
But give our audience a little insight of the market in Paris and France.
I would say we are pretty much lucky that in the high end real estate it's pretty much stable. We were of course, like the whole world, very scared during the first lockdown last March to 2019 when everything started because no one could expect how the market is gonna, you know, what's gonna happen. So it was obviously a huge stop during the first lockdown that happened last March and April. And because our notary, you know, here for a deal, 99% of the deals we do it with notaries,
Yeah.
which are the same as real estate lawyers in the US. and they did not have the system to work from home for the
Ah,
first during the first lockdown. Most of them. So
got it.
it took 30 to 40 days where the whole real estate market in the whole country totally stopped. So for sure, last year we had at least 1 or 2 months of really stop, and then at the end of the first lockdown, you know, we had I think a huge. We had a good. I mean, the feeling was great. The people that were thinking, okay, I was locked in my small apartment in Paris. Now I want green. I want to be outside Paris. Maybe it's time for a change, life changing. And so we could see a lot of movements of people that wanted to sell in Paris and buy a house a bit farther. So it was really great before summer.
So
And
obviously there's a lot of people buying outside of Paris for houses and a lot of more land and space. I assume there, because Paris will always be Paris.
yeah,
There's some people that are finding good deals in Paris. Is it, it's like New York right now is very difficult, but there's people buying because there's opportunity and there's, some major deals. If they buy now and they can buy, and they hold on to it, it's a very good deal for New York. And New York is New York, and Paris in
yeah,
Paris,
for
and
sure, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, I would say it's pretty much the same here. Even though in luxury, once again, it did. I mean, the prices did not really go down that much,
yeah.
because we thought there would be a much more offer right now than before the crisis, but it did not really happen. So the offer did not grow, so the prices did not go down, you
Yeah.
know. And but what's great and what the big change here is that before crisis, the secondary houses market were really, quite slow,
Yeah.
and now
And now it's picking up.
yeah, now it's picking up. So we get to sell properties that we were listing for maybe 2 or 3 years, and we sold a lot of them during the last few months in suburbs or in south of France. People really want a change of life.
Are people, so the people who are, I guess, leaving Paris for, most of the year, are they looking at being not far from Paris, like an hour away, or are they going to south of France or Bordeaux or?
You have I think you have a lot of different cases. You have obviously the people that want to leave big cities like the Parisian, the people from Bordeaux, the people from Lille. They are sick of the city and scared of the next lockdown, so they really want to change of house and live outside big cities.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be a change of their first house, their primary house. And you
Yeah.
also have the people that can afford a secondary house, and obviously is gonna quickly look for a great place to be when they just wanted to escape. Yeah.
And as you can see, I mean, I know you follow the trends of the real estate industry, and it's evolving a lot. I mean, you can see, I mean, even in the US, everything is changing all the time. So you have to adapt. Do you see it evolving also a bit in France as well, or you guys are the only one, because you adapt, and every year I see you guys doing different things. And on the other hand, I see a lot of agencies in France still at the same stage, 10 years ago. So I'm just curious, like, what do you see in the next few years in France?
Well, it's true that we always, as I told you, we try to really have an eye and keep an eye on what's happening abroad. The US is always a great example. I mean, but you also in UK also. So, yeah, so we try to really travel a lot and always have an eye to be a step ahead from other agencies that our competitors here are much bigger than us. But as you said, it's an advantage to be big, but it could be a disadvantage also because it takes time to change, and it's slower to move. I mean, yeah, you're much.
And you don't always have the same attention. I mean, I know as
Yeah,
you guys, yeah, yeah,
it's more difficult, obviously, when you are big. So we are trying to keep it not too small. We are trying to expand. We are now 20. We have now 25 agents working with us.
that's great. Yeah.
But we like it this way because it's, you know, we are in super good terms with all of our agents. They are kind of part of the family.
Which is
Uh,
great. Yeah.
we are trying to find, you know, all of our agents have the same DNA as us. They love family, they love people. So
Family
yeah,
values. Family
yeah,
values and
values first, and then yeah, it's great like this. Yeah.
so there's another thing I want to, touch on, before we finalize, this conversation. You guys recently had your own TV show called L'Agence.
Yeah.
L'Agence for those, so it was mainly oriented towards, I guess, the French audience because it's in French and it was on TMC. Tell us a bit about the opportunity you got with that and a little bit about the show. And I know it's coming to Netflix soon.
Yeah,
Will
exactly.
the Anglophone audience be able to watch it? Will it be translated in English?
Sure, sure. That's the good news. So the show was first. It's one season of 5 episodes of each 1 hour,
Yeah.
and it's a French production company called Reservoir Prod, which is a big production company here that produced the show. The format, if you are familiar with Selling Sunset in the US on Netflix,
So
I would say that the format of the show really looks same as
similar.
Selling
Yeah.
Sunset, even
Yeah.
though it's very different, obviously, because it's, you know,
In
it's
France.
French. It's French. So yeah, it was displayed on TMC, which is Channel 10 in France, last month. So we got a little bit overwhelmed here, and
And that gave you also additional exposure because when you have a TV show, I mean, especially here in the US, you know how it is. Once you're on a TV show, whatever industry you're in, it's like, wow, people love it.
yeah,
Uh,
it was no, seriously. Yeah, to be honest, it was very great here, and we managed to get a lot of deals from it. We were very happy, and happy to share. The most important is to share our stories and what happens to us
so
every
yeah,
day on a daily basis. The crazy stories that happens to us,
yeah.
and
So
so
yeah,
yeah, and we just sold to Netflix 10 days ago. So you are well informed.
I get the
and
inside information.
and it's gonna be displayed available on Netflix around the end of March. So they are now translating the show in 800 languages.
Wow,
So yeah, so
that,
rest assured it's gonna be available in English for sure.
that's great. I mean, I watched the show, and honestly, I mean, I think something I really loved compared to a lot of other shows, it shows the day to day and the values you and your family have. Obviously, there's some beautiful real estate, but it really shows what you guys are about. And that I think is really the best, part of the show.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So
I'm
last
glad
thing.
you
So
liked it.
I honestly loved it. I might actually rewatch it on Netflix. um, but anyways, and then the last thing I wanted, so not to do with, so obviously when you're in real estate, you and I know it pretty much takes all your life. You talk about real estate all the time, your friends, your family. It doesn't matter where you are, and because we're very passionate and because it's something that people love as well and always
Yeah.
interested. When you're not doing real estate, what do you do?
I do sports. I do a lot of sports,
Yeah,
which we could, and I have a lot of clients that I'm doing sport with. You know, earlier I was,
that's the that's the fun
yeah,
part.
yeah, it's great, it's great. So I do sports. I do a restaurant, party, arts. Here we are lucky to live in Paris. You always have an expo or a great theater. You know, it's.
Yeah,
I mean, when it's not COVID, obviously, that's why it's really sad. But we are so lucky to live in one of the most beautiful
it
city
is.
in the world. You always have something to do here. You never get bored in Paris. Never.
That is true. So Valentin, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest. So anybody who wants to connect with Valentin, feel free to do so on his Instagram. You can also follow his agency, Kretz and Partners. And of course, if you're looking for property in France, in Paris or in France, Valentin and his family can advise you. I truly believe they're the best in France. And I'm not
With
saying this
pleasure.
because
Thank you.
I'm not saying this because he's a friend. I really believe the way, they do things. They're such a nice family. And if you want to be in good hands and you're looking for a beautiful home in France, connect with them. Um,
Thank you for all the compliments.
I truly mean it. So, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. I saw we had a lot of people come in, so I really appreciate. Valentin, I hope to see you soon in Paris or in
Yeah,
Miami. And
definitely.
I told myself this year, 2021, I'm starting kite surfing. So hopefully we'll be able
Perfect.
to go.
I'll teach you with pleasure.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Benjamin. See you.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.